Yo, welcome back to the Saturday Who podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for all the support and love thus far. Man, we can't be more grateful. Today, another guest, you know what I'm saying? I reverted back, you know what I'm saying? I had to go get another music artist. My brother, Cartoon HoodFigaz. Thank you for coming
Thank you for
by,
having me,
bro.
bro. Appreciate it, man.
Cartoon is here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he be grinding on a music tip, got a record label, and we gonna talk a little bit about what keeps an artist, a man of his caliber, going. You know what I'm saying? I could tell my story a thousand times, but I want bro to tell his so y'all can have a different source of motivation. It's crazy because I feel like we from different walks of life. Me being from the east, being from the
Hmm.
west, but we still like we click. You know, it's not just the art, it's the struggle, it's the grind, it's everything that just relates us. So, Cartoon, bro, um, I want you to tell the Who fans, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I want you to tell them who you are, where you from. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing and things like that that shaped you to be the man you are today.
All right, bro. So as you know, right, I go by the name of Cartoon Hood Figures.
Yes, sir.
Obviously from the Hood Figures label. Originally, I'm from Texas, so I grew up in
Okay.
Texas. I was born in Mexico, but grew up, my first couple years in Mexico, transitioned to Texas, and
Yep.
then I had I would say from the time that I was 6 years old all the way till I was 18 years old in Texas.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? After that, started my career in the military, which brought me over to the West Coast.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, growing up in Texas was, that was a key foundation to where
Yeah.
I became an artist. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Obviously got the name Cartoon because I came up as a graffiti artist.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, I seen the work you was doing on your
yeah,
crib in your
bro.
studio. That was
Thank you, bro.
fire.
Yeah, man. So, drawing has been a big part of me like all my life. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
think when I came to Texas, my mom's, she grew up as a single mother, so
Okay.
most of the time, she tried to keep us busy. She would buy us paints and my brother, my sister. I'm the youngest one, and I think that's where I picked up the drawing.
Right.
Coming to Texas, obviously the graffiti scene is big, man. So growing up, from the elementary time frame all the way till I was in high school, like
Right.
graffiti was a big part of me, man.
Right. Right.
So that's what
Yeah.
influenced, I think, the influence in the graffiti game, learning how to draw, seeing the street art, and I just picked those things up, and that's where I started, latching onto the graffiti, man.
Right. That part, the being in like the drawing, cause my brother's in the drawing too. So anybody that anyone I've met, especially being in New
Mhm.
York, cause like graffiti was
Oh
big in
yeah,
New York,
yeah.
especially in the '80s on the trains and everything. So like I bet being an artist in that context
Mhm.
and drawing, it probably put you in an environment that was surrounded by a whole bunch of other artists.
Oh yeah, huge, man. And not only artists, you know what I mean? I think obviously, we look at graffiti, and it involves like one of the elements for hip hop, you know what I
Right.
mean? So I grew up around ciphers too, like, music
Hmm.
and stuff like
Right.
that. So obviously graffiti was huge, but along with graffiti, that also brings,
So
trouble, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So,
I was about
the
to ask that.
trouble. So
Yeah.
I think those things I started getting influenced by graffiti, and the things that it brought around like middle school time frame. So I think
Hmm.
middle school time frame moving on to high school, I think that bridge is where like things started getting a little bit rougher to
Hmm.
understanding where, yeah, the love for art, but also the troubles that as a teen it's gonna bring.
Right, indeed. And just to like backpedal a little bit, so your Mama Love, shout out to Mama Toon.
Yeah, yeah,
Shout
absolutely.
out to Mama Toon. Mama Love, you think her introducing the art into your life was to kind of like keep you astray from the
Oh,
troubles that she knew was out there in the streets?
yeah, 100%, man. So obviously, my dad was he was in prison. He went to
Mhm.
prison a little bit after I hit the fourth grade. So I would like to say fourth grade, fifth grade time frame.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what she would do is, she would buy, like, the drawing pad and all those things to keep me busy, you know what I mean? And she would draw with me because at the time she didn't really want me to be interacting with the people that we were around in the neighborhood, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I understand.
she would like, hey, draw this, like I
Hmm.
want you to draw me this, I want you to draw me that. So I think that's where she influenced the positivity for drawing and the passion for art. But
Right.
I think obviously, like I said, I'm, you know, um, you hear the saying, I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment
Right.
to be a product of me.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I mean? And I think that's where that product took an influence into what I, got myself into and stuff
Right.
like
I
that.
respect that. I
Hmm.
respect that. And shout out to moms. That was
Yeah.
a great decision from your moms. Your dad, is he in your life today?
He's in my life, man. I want to say that I didn't really consider him part of my life
Right.
because of my pride and ego. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He got out of jail when I was in high school,
Yes.
but I've told people before I had a pride and ego because of the things that he did wrong towards my mother. I held that resentment towards him.
Right.
So I had a father and he came out a changed man. He came out a changed man out of prison. You know what I mean? I didn't recognize my father when he got out. I was like, who is this guy? This is a
Right.
totally different man. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think it was me, seeing him come out and me putting up that wall that made me realize, you know what, I don't want this guy to be part of my life because of my pride and my ego. I
Right.
don't want to let those things go.
Right. Right. Right.
But I think now, little by little we're changing that.
Hmm.
I'm growing up. I'm starting to realize a lot of things, and I'm starting to realize that at the end of the day, people make mistakes, man.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean?
Yes,
And
sir.
we have to be willing to make those changes to accept them in our life, regardless of whatever happened.
Right. Right.
Because he
That.
is my father at the end of the day.
Right. Right. That's like I think you're maybe like the second guest that I got to speak to about our dads. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? My dad was the same thing. He was in prison a lot of my childhood, and then when I was close to becoming a man, I was a teenager. He ends up, getting locked up
yeah.
again when we were trying to rebuild. So, and I think as artists, we're sensitive.
Yeah.
We're
Oh
we're
yeah.
just we're born different. Our brain, our heart is hardwired differently.
Hmm.
So, you know, we when we're hurt, we hold on to that for so
100%,
long,
man.
so long, like a lot. Like I can imagine some of your drawings, and I can imagine your drawings when you was in the thick of it as a
Mm.
teenager. Probably some real
Vivid. Yeah.
close, you know what I'm saying, and your music now,
Mm,
because I'm still making songs about
mm,
it now. But I say that to say, like, you talking about your dad and talking about bettering your relationship, and I just had cut ties with my dad about a year ago, and I let you listen to that song
mm,
Trauma.
mm.
um, and I've been going closer back to not cutting, like to mending those
Yeah.
ties
Rebuilding
because
those
I
things.
think, and I was just talking to my wife about it earlier too. Like I don't want to live. I keep saying I feel like this is the third episode where I said like I don't want to be like
Yeah.
this. I don't want to be angry
Yeah.
about that no more. So you bringing that up really kind of opens the door. Like
Yeah.
you keep hearing something, and I think that's God trying to knock on
100%,
your
man.
door and tell you like, yo. So you bringing that up just now, it's a little rabbit hole, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
bringing that up just now kind of like opens my thoughts up. Like,
Hmm.
damn, like hitting up your dad might
Yeah.
be your
The
brothers
best
is
thing.
doing it around you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's great that's like it's great to hear that, and I
Hmm.
respect that a lot. Um, so you grew up in Texas and you
Hmm.
were heavy in the graffiti
Hmm.
scene. When did you make the transition to music?
Oh man, music. I mean, obviously, when it came to, like I said, the graffiti and me painting, I would always listen to music. You know what I mean? I didn't really start. I would say like I didn't really start recording music directly until maybe I was in the 12th grade. But I
Okay.
always, did freestyles. I was around the
Right.
ciphers,
Yeah.
hearing
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
rap. I came up on a lot of like real hip hop.
Hmm.
Biggie,
Yes,
KRS-One,
sir. Yes, sir.
Wu-Tang.
Yes,
So I
sir.
was heavily involved by real hip hop.
Yeah.
So I think in the back of my mind, I always wanted to do music, but music didn't really become a thing until I want to say after I moved to California and I
Uh,
started experimenting with West Coast music, you know what I
okay.
mean? And
Yeah.
then, I moved to the West Coast, started listening to West Coast artists,
Hmm.
and then that's when, being in the military, I was like, I need to make this a thing, you know what I mean? Going
Hmm.
to deployment, the homies would hear me freestyle. They're like, you need to really like lay this music down, man.
Yeah,
Go
bro.
record this,
Hmm.
do something out of it. And I think after that, that's when it started becoming a thing.
How long did it take you from the time you were like how long, what would you say the time frame was from when you like what writing
Hmm.
or spitting around the homies before you actually got in the studio and recorded your first
Man,
track?
it was a couple of years, man. I want to say it was my first, I mean, because we recorded songs, when I was in high school, it was like through a garage band microphone, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I wouldn't really call that recording, but I want to say my first official song that I actually recorded through a nice program and a nice microphone This was maybe 2015 time frame.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I first like
Yes,
made a
sir.
song. Like I knew what a hook was, I knew what
Yeah.
a verse was, you
Yep.
know. So that's when I first legitimately recorded something.
I asked that because I made music as a
Hmm.
teenager, right? And I was probably ninth, 10th
Hmm.
grade, and then I stopped.
Hmm.
When I started to get the hang of it, I stopped. And then I became a man. I joined the
Yeah.
military, or at least I thought I was a man, right? I was a young man at the point, and then I got the, I was in Afghanistan,
Hmm.
and I got the mindset to write again.
Yeah.
I was in like deep depression, so I would write in my notes, and I would send it to my eldest brother,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, "Yeah, I started off, believe it or not, I started off with Fresh Prince.
Hmm.
I made a rhyme to the Fresh Prince rhyme.
No
I
way.
just changed the words around. I put my own words,
Hmm.
and I sent it to my brother. He was like,
Okay.
"Good start, great start, keep going."
Keep going.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't until 2015,
Yeah.
2015 September, I got in the booth. I had a bottle of Bacardi. I was
Okay.
home on leave. I had a bottle of Bacardi, and I was with my
Hmm.
brother, and I was like, "Yo, let's get us a studio
Yeah.
session." And he was like, "I'll support you whatever you do," because he's an artist as well. Brought me to the studio, and I made my first song. I didn't know how to
Sheesh.
do a hook. I just had a verse,
You just
and
ripped out
he
the whole
did the
beat.
hook. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. I was telling telling them like we linked up, and we got more in common than you know. So that's inspirational.
Hmm.
Like you going from graffiti to music,
Yeah.
and then actually pushing yourself to
Yeah.
start really doing. Because I see you now,
Hmm.
I see you right now, we see you right now, but like I can imagine you back then. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? A lot of people see me right now, but they didn't see me back then. So in terms of like the confidence piece, how as an artist, how do you build up the confidence to really keep going, keep putting out, keep shifting, shape shifting your art? Because the more you change it, the more you change and make yourself a student of the craft, the better you get, and the
Yeah.
more, you know what I'm saying? So how do you keep up how do you keep your confidence up? Because we're in the business of people,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And people have to like, if we want to make funds from music, right? If it's just for fun, it's just for fun. But if we want to make funds and inspire people with our story,
Hmm.
then we have to be open to the things that's gonna come out. You know what I'm
Crazy,
saying?
man.
So how
Yeah.
you keep your confidence up?
Man, I think the confidence, with the music, it's gonna be a thing it will be ever evolving. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Confidence will always be a part of the process. How I built my confidence starting up was, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't have no confidence. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Because I would
I
record
respect
music,
that.
but I would make music, and it was music just for my ears. And to this day, I have music that I will probably never release. But in the beginning, I would make music, and there was always that thought, what are people gonna think of me? You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Is somebody gonna like it? What if I put it out and somebody says, oh, I don't agree with that, or
Right,
that's whack. You know what I mean?
right.
So it wasn't until I started showcasing the music to close friends,
Yes.
and it was heartfelt music. It was music, like I said, growing up without a father, music from the struggle. So
Hmm.
I think that's when, they were like, hey, you should release this, put it out there, let's see what people think.
Hmm.
And I started pushing it. I started pushing it through SoundCloud. I don't know if you remember
Yeah, yeah,
SoundCloud. Yeah,
definitely. I still got
SoundCloud.
stones and
Yeah,
styles with.
SoundCloud. I started pushing it through Facebook. And when I started getting that feedback, it wasn't a lot, but with the people that did get feedback, hey, that's good music. Yo,
Yep.
that's dope. Oh,
Hmm.
that's real. I think those little comments is what started building those steps,
Hmm.
to the foundation that I have now.
Hmm.
And I mean, to this day, I keep the creative process open-minded. And what I
Yes.
mean by that is I make a song, and I will send it to a couple of close friends before release, so
Yes.
that way they can give me their criticism.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And um, like I said, sometimes I make songs from feelings, and to me, it's gonna be a song that I maybe felt in the moment, but I will always double back and say, hey, was this a song that I did out of emotion,
Right.
or was this a song that can, like, legitimately people can listen to
Right.
and agree with it?
You don't feel like that people can listen to your songs that's made out of emotion?
I do, you know what I mean? But there is some songs, I'm a big advocate, like I said, of mental health. We were talking a little bit
Yes, sir.
before this.
Yes, sir.
So I think, some of these songs are really too real. I put a lot of
Uh-huh.
dark emotion into it that I
Yep.
feel at that time maybe I had too much emotion wrapped up around it
Hmm.
that I don't want the wrong message coming out. I don't want people to think, oh, this guy idolizes suicide, this guy idolizes,
Right.
pain and struggle,
Hmm.
because that's not the case. It was just something that I felt at the moment, you know what
Hmm.
I mean? And I just made. So I will always double back, a day later, maybe 2 days later, and I will always think about, hey, if I were a consumer listening to this,
Hmm.
how would I feel about this?
Hmm.
If this was the first time I heard this song, how would I feel about this?
Hmm.
So there's always, like I said, that
There's always those
the
thoughts and
process,
yeah,
yeah, that
and
process.
and I respect that because ultimately you're a business.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And how the image that you want your business to have, that's up to you.
Yeah.
And to speak on that, like I have a song, and then once we go off air, I'll show you. Because I'm all about sharing my story.
Hmm.
I get more willed to share my story the longer I let it go
Yeah.
without being released.
Hmm.
So in that moment, I record the song strictly off of how I feel,
Hmm.
and if I feel like it meets my standard,
Hmm.
um, I release it, but it may be further down the line. I got a song called Suicide Note.
Okay.
I was in a dark place when I did that song, very dark place, and I'm talking I'm talking about him, but the him I'm talking about is me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And till this day, I have people hit me up. It's like I went back and I researched your music because I like to think I have an extensive catalog for independent artists, and I have people that hit me up and said that song is deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked. Because some things it's worth to share, but we don't know what it would do for somebody
Yeah.
else. You know what I'm saying? But I respect your view on how you want to shape
Yeah.
your business and your image as an artist.
And it's not to say that I don't want to share music because you know it's crazy that you say that because I have a song called Off the Table, and
Hmm.
Off the Table is based from the point of view of me talking to my best friend that committed suicide. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And I would call him best friend because I grew up with him in the Marine Corps. And it's like I'm talking to him, and I called it Off the Table because um, it's talking in regards to us. We made a table, we
Hmm.
all brought our food to the table, and it's talking in regards to I had to take this person, I had to remove him off the table because I still feel hunger deep inside,
Hmm.
and that person that is no longer here with me, I can no longer share that hunger with them. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So,
That's
it,
deep.
it says something along the lines like I had to take them off the table. Don't you
You got
ever?
a video to
Yeah, yeah,
that.
I got a
Hmm.
video
I
to
seen
that.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's really deep. You know what I mean? And that's probably like one of the deepest songs that I have out right now.
Yes,
And
sir.
it does. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I sat in the studio. I want to say over 100 times listening to the song. And at the time, I was talking to my wife and I was telling her, should I release this? And she's like, absolutely. I had
Hmm.
people like shed tears to that song before it even came out.
Yes, sir.
But it definitely took a lot of will out of me to release it because when I made that song, it was made out of anger,
Yes.
out of anger and pain because I
Yes.
am angry that that person took that route, but I have to accept it. I have to live
Right.
with that hunger for the rest of my life.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And we
Yeah.
have to remove them from the table, and whoever listens to it, it's gonna bring that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
it's gonna
gonna
bring
be
those
a yeah, those
emotions forward,
emotions. Yeah.
and that's our job as artists, man, is to kind of like speak about the things that I, the world
Hmm.
it can relate to. You know what I'm saying? Like we speak about these things to move people, but also in a way to bring them closer to their healing.
Yeah.
Your healing looks different from mine,
Yeah.
so I respect that, bro, for sure, for
Hmm.
sure. And I did see that video. I think you played it when I came
Hmm.
to your studio, and it's a very moving song. So just I like it. I like your creative process. I got to do a session with bro,
It was
and
a good
it
session
was a
too.
great session. We got to get back into it for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely, bro.
So we talked about the confidence. We talked about the music. Your side is the music. Can you tell us, is there anything coming next? What's out right now that, because they're gonna go back and they're gonna research some cartoon. What's coming, or what you have now that you want the people to kind of look at
Oh
and
man, I got a lot coming, you know what I mean? And at this moment, I'm working. Well, I'm not working because it's already up for release, but I have an EP releasing on Halloween 31st.
okay.
Yeah, and it's called Born and Raised. And Born and Raised is grows up around, well, it talks about born and raised in Texas, but I was raised in California. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
So obviously born in, well, I was born and raised in the Valley, but raised as a man in California. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
Obviously the military
That
brought me
matters.
out here,
Yeah,
man. I was 17, 18 years old when I moved out to Cali, so
yeah.
it was a thing where I had to learn to be a man right here. You know what
Yes,
I mean?
sir. Yes, sir.
So it's gonna be an EP that was produced by Ace. Man, shout out to Ace. He's a big influence right now in the music that I do. He's worked with, big heavy artists. So
Okay.
that's something that I have going on right now. As far as my artists, man, I'm every day I'm pushing them to release new things.
Mhm.
I have the homie Chief Smoke releasing new music, in the near future. The homie
And
Real True,
your label is Hood Figures.
Hood Figures. That's
Hood
right.
Figures. Hood Figures. Yeah.
So, all these artists, Holla at Chiguala, Chief Smoke, O True, from the label, they're all pushing music every month, man.
Mhm.
So I tell them if you're not releasing something, at least once a month, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That's
and
what's up,
they
bro.
haven't missed, man. Every month they all release something,
Yeah.
bro. So
Shout out to my boy Smoke. That's my
yeah,
man's right there.
good
I
homie
fucks with
right there.
Smoke. Yes, sir. So what? So in the sense, I kind of know what you bring to the
Mhm.
table as an individual artist. What do you want the Hood Figures label to bring to the world, to the entertainment business? Like, what is your mission statement for the Hood Figures? You know what I'm saying?
Hood Figures is more of a statement in regards to anybody can go up and get it. You know what I mean? Nobody we don't have a category that you need to meet to be part of a Hood Figures, because Hood Figures is a universal statement. And I tell people, because they ask what is Hood Figures, right?
Right.
So everybody grew up, in a neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody grew up in a struggle, right? So everybody, like I said, grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Whether, you came from money, you didn't come from money, you came from the struggle, you didn't. You know what I'm saying? But you grew up somewhere where you represent a community. You
Right.
know what I mean? And in this community, you had figures you looked up to. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Personnel, whether it could be, in my neighborhood, it was the homies that I saw growing up. You know what I mean? The
Right.
graffiti artists, the rappers, the homies that weren't doing good. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
And in other communities, whoever it may be, there might be other figures that they look up to. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it's hood figures. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's
Hood Figures.
universal.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
you got to get up and go get it, and that's a statement, man. You know what I mean? Anybody could be a part of the movement. Whatever it is that you're doing, you got to push yourself to make the dream happen.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we stand for, bro.
Yeah, I jack that. Shout out to Hood Figures, man. Now, what type of, in a sense, what type of artist are you looking for,
Man, I think honestly, man, I don't look into
or at least to work
yeah,
with? You know what
okay,
I'm
to
saying?
work with,
Yeah.
man. I look into anybody that has the motivation and the passion to make music,
Yes.
because anybody nowadays, man, it's so easy to become a rapper. It's so easy to become an
It is,
entertainer.
bro. It is.
But I think I look into the qualities of what are you bringing to the table?
Mm-hmm.
How passionate are you about what you truly believe in? You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like how good is your hustle? You know what I mean? Are you
Right.
willing to put, the time into it? Are you willing to put your
Mm-hmm.
investment into it? Because
Mm-hmm.
you could bring a horse to the water, but you can't make him
You
drink.
can.
You know
You
what I'm
can.
saying? So,
I respect that. I said, and that goes like what I said in my song Trauma. Like, I'm not doing a feature if I not Trauma is an unreleased song, the real, the one I'm trying to get you
mhm.
on.
Yeah, that's a
I
good song
said,
too, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah. I said I can't. I'm not doing a feature if I can't get to meet you. You know what I'm saying? Because like people be on
Yeah,
some
grimy
weird
stuff,
shit.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, excuse my language, but people be on some weird stuff,
Yeah.
bro. So like, if I can't, me as an artist, if I can't see where your mindset is
Hmm.
at, I kind of can't work with you
Yeah, bro.
because yeah, I would love. I know my music's gonna get there, but I would love to have 100 million
Yeah.
streams but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sell my soul and my beliefs. I'm not gonna tarnish my ethics and morals
100%,
for
man.
any
I
artist
love
to
that.
hop on my song. You know what I'm saying? You have I before I used to, I had a couple artists that I paid for features for. And I don't know those guys, you know what I'm saying? I see what they do on social media, but I don't know them personally. Like you, I had brothers in
Mm.
arms, and I seen you around, and we got to talk, and it was always love. And then coming to your crib, and seeing you and Smoke, and y'all's creative
Mhm.
process. I know y'all good
Yeah.
dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like I know y'all hearts of gold.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So like I agree. I agree with that. Like you kind of got to watch who you do business with. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna jump in on this, man. I think, the music industry is very grimy. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? People are
Mhm.
grimy.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I live by this thing, and I tell my wife, man, I gotta protect my energy, bro. You know, whoever walks through my
Facts.
door, bro, you have to protect that, bro, because you
Facts.
don't know the intentions that people bring to your home, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can see somebody on social media, anybody can portray a false image, but as soon as you meet the person, you can feel the vibe immediately, man. And I have a circle, man, and in this circle I have positive energy. I have things that I want to complete.
Mm-hmm.
But if, like you said, you come into my circle and you're trying to tarnish that image, you're trying to tarnish my vision, I know what you're about, man. You
Right.
know, and at the end of the day, if that vibe ain't right, man, it's not gonna stick, bro.
Yes, sir. Protecting your energy,
Protect your
bro.
energy,
It's
bro.
crazy because I was literally having that conversation, um, like just with my wife before you got here, and I'm just like, we have meetings, and I'm just like, yo, like doing this right here
Hmm.
really opened my mind. It like
Hmm.
it expanded it because I'm here and I'm giving my story and I'm
Hmm.
giving other people's stories. I can't walk away from this camera and do whatever I want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I everything I'm saying, I need to be living that.
Yeah,
So
bro.
it literally makes me a better father, husband, man, brother, cousin, whoever every
Speak
day.
into
You
existence.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's done so much for my
Hmm.
artistry because like I went to the studio last month and my vision of what I want, how I want to portray myself, and how I want to push off my music is completely changed. And
Yep.
I'm in love with it, man. I'm in love with the process, bro. And it's good. It's so good to have like-minded artists and individuals around you. And as an artist, you never know that.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So for those young artists out there, like you never know what the next man, woman is thinking or
Yeah.
as an artist or struggling with,
Yeah, bro.
right?
100%.
And like I met you, you know, say like, you hearing about your lack of confidence in the beginning. Like I seeing you and talking to you, and then I'm like, damn, I'm about to go to Hood Figures Court, bro. Bro, I'm nervous, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then we get up there, and you made me feel so at home,
Oh, I
bro.
had to,
I'm
bro.
telling you, bro. I came back. I told wifey about the experience. I told my brother about the experience. Everybody loves the song, so we just waiting for it,
Yeah,
Hood
man, I
Figures.
know. We need to get
But
that cracking.
but yeah, bro. So you know, every time, every podcast, you know, you come on here, you tell your story, which I appreciate you for
Yeah.
coming out. Just to let y'all know, like it ain't no easy it's no easy link ups. Like these link ups that's happened, these guests they come out more than all of them have a ways to drive
Yeah.
to come sit on the Saturday Who and share their story with you. So like when I say I appreciate it,
Thank you,
we
bro.
appreciate it, the Saturday Who team, like from the bottom of our
No,
hearts,
thank you
bro.
for having me, man.
I would like you to give them some motivational parting words for the fans of the Who.
Absolutely, 100%. For anybody doing, you know, anything, whether it comes to their business, their dream, achieving their goals, you have to go up and get it. Nobody's gonna make you get up and chase your goals. You have to wake up in the morning with a positive mindset and attack the goals. No matter the outcome, no matter the criticism, no matter what people have to say, at the end of the day, if you truly believe in that goal, go up and get it. There's gonna have to be investment, there's gonna have to be losses, and you're gonna suffer at times from the lack of motivation. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that you'd rather live in the at least I tried than live in the what if. You know, never live in regret because you know time is of the essence,
Yes, sir.
and we're only counting down that clock. And at the
Hmm.
end of the day, we want to achieve that. So get up and get it. Go get that hustle. Go get your bread, and you know make every second count.
Yes, sir. Like I always say, you know what I'm saying? I'm going back to the East Coast in about 4 months. We gonna check back in with bro. Hopefully we could get another studio session
Oh,
and
imagine.
a Saturday Who live video of a studio session with Hood Figures and the Hood Figures family. Shout out to Smoke and the rest of the Hood Figures
Yes, sir.
artists. Thank you for coming by. This cartoon Hood Figures, his Instagram, everything is gonna be below. So is my man Smoke. Tune in, tune into his music, do your research, and bro is a down to earth dude. You going through something? He's all about mental health. Hit him
100%.
up as well. And thank you for tuning in again. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Sheemie Dub, Saturday Who, Hood Figures out. Appreciate you.
It's a move, it's a flow. I got guns, I get hoes, I drink yak, I got smoke. I get the back and I'm on the mill. Run it up on $1 bills. Hey Jeff, we locking deals. This fucking hater, I'm popping sills. Run it up till we get to mills. This fucking bitch, I ain't doing the fills. Wood grains, I swear the wheels. Stay clean like cocaine. Blown up like propane. I bench up, shit, it's no pain. See my drink, it ain't protein. Me, Sheemie smoke, it ain't no thing. Cream it up like it's Wu-Tang. Me, Sheemie smoke, it ain't no thing. Cream it up like it's Wu-Tang and I'm gone.
Let me just slow it down just a little bit.